My name is Meg Tuohey. Together we'll gather wisdom from a wide range of voices, thought leaders and seekers just like you. Through individual stories, we'll explore multiple categories of wisdom and uncover how the stripes of our experiences, both joyful and challenging and all that lies in between, intertwine to create a rich tapestry of life. So whether you're looking for inspiration, guidance, or simply a moment of reflection, you're in the right place. This is Wisdom Stripes. Welcome to Wisdom Stripes, where we are your fierce fairy godmothers, turning pain and confusion into clarity and confidence. Today I'm joined in the studio with the beautiful Lucia La Rosa.
Hello.
Welcome, Lucia.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Me too. Now, we start every episode with one question, and so I'm really interested in your answer. The question is, what wisdom would you like a listener to come away with today?
They can change their current condition, or they can better their current condition. That was something that I applied ever since I started my journey of becoming wiser and taking responsibility, is that you can change your condition or better it.
It is the nicest thing to remember that we have agency and we are able to maneuver no matter how dark or how dire.
Yeah.
So I find that people who understand this premise have been in the darkness and realized how to walk into the light. I wonder, has that been your journey? Has that been your experience?
Yeah, I think sometimes we need that little darkness or that confusion where you're aware enough to see it, notice it, and then see, okay, something has to change for sure. Like, I've been there. I think like the biggest one was the one that really got me from here to here. And then, people like to say life is about ups and downs. And I do agree with that, but to a certain degree, it's not supposed to be like up and down so crazy. I think life every day is like this. I want my ups and downs to be like small now, where I'm constantly moving up and, just dealing and handling life. So yeah, definitely. I've been there.
Now, I heard you talk that you are originally from Peru.
Yes.
And then you moved to Riverside.
Yeah.
And then to Culver City. And maybe then you fell in love and you moved to Miami.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that journey? I imagine there was a lot of wisdom in those transitions.
Yes. I was born and raised in a third world country, very middle class family, mom, dad, working. Although my parents were entrepreneurs, but I didn't know it. So later in my life, I was like, oh, that's why I want to be an entrepreneur, because of the freedom. But we can get into that later. And at the age of 14, being a teenager, trying to figure out life, your friends are everything when you're 14. You're like, forget my parents. I just want to be with my friends. My mom was like, we're moving to America. And I was like, absolutely not. I have my school, my friends. I have a plan here. At 14, and it's true. There's some kids that have a plan. Whether it's crazy, we have plans as our own person. But it didn't work out. So I moved here, absolutely hated it. But now I see why my mom did it. And I think the wisdom in that was that change of environment can completely change the outcome and the future. I think about it now, and I don't know what I would be doing in my own country. It's crazy to think about. I don't know where I would be. So change was like, I think the first lesson that I got from that. It was like, even if I didn't want it, I changed my environment drastically.
So there's a phrase that you said that because I've met you in person, which is so lucky for me. I love doing this in-person work.
Great.
So I can read that you love America.
I do.
I can read that.
Yeah.
And I also just heard you say, that at 14 when you moved here, you hated it.
I hated it.
And I wonder, tell us about that. What was that like to be in such a big feeling at 14?
Oh, it was scary.
Yeah.
I think being a teenager is one of the most vulnerable times for, I'm sure, men and women, but for us girls, we're going through this whole change. And you don't know how to handle it. And sometimes parents know, sometimes they don't know. But it was very scary because I I wanted to go back to what was familiar to me, but I couldn't. I didn't have the money. I was a minor. So imagine like feeling like you want to do something, but you can't.
But you can't. No wonder freedom's important to you now.
Right. And my mom became very overprotective over me because coming from a third world country, I was 14. I was still playing with Barbies.
Yeah.
And then I was going to private schools. And then here I go to America and I'm going to a public school where they are not playing with Barbies. They are playing with other things. And my mom saw that and she became super like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go out. So it was from 14 to 16 was very hard because I couldn't be me. And I think and that was a moment in my life where I really lost my ability to communicate. I didn't speak English. Oh. So that was tough. Forgot that part. So just not being able to communicate and completely introvert, I became a different person. It wasn't until 17, 18 when I graduated high school that I started going to college and I was like, okay, I like America now. I liked it. I didn't love the country because it was just very different. Culture shock.
Oh, absolutely. The acclimation, which is not even a word they use in Australia. It's my American word I picked up. Yeah. The acclimation into from a third world country that is non-English native speaking to America at the tender age of 14. My goodness.
Yeah, it was tough. My brother was 8 and he picked it up and, you know.
Different.
It was easier.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like 18 I moved out of my house and I started to find like my own voice again. But I was still lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a psychologist. I wanted to help people. And then I bumped into, you know, sometimes you have those people in your life that don't believe in you. One of them was my school counselor. Oh. And I was like, I want to do what you do. And she goes, no, I think you should just go to community college.
Oh, no.
I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know how to get set up with the SAT. I didn't know. My mom didn't know either. So I thought I was going to university, but I was going to community college. And so those are the lessons that I learned now that I'm like, I look back and now I know how to detect those people. So I don't want to associate with them because sometimes people are trying to help you, but, oh no, that's not good for you. Like you'll rather do less.
Right. They can't see you. They can't see your greatness.
I think they can. And because they can, they're afraid of it.
You do?
Yeah.
I thought maybe she couldn't see you.
No, I think, like, I do understand what you're saying, but I think these people are very specific people that don't want to see others succeed. Oh. And when you come across those people, they come across as they want to help you. And sometimes it's intentionally and unintentionally. So I do get that sometimes they don't see the greatness. But I think from my experience and from what I've experienced, most of them do see the potential, but they don't want you to do well. And they are actively trying to stop you.
Oh, I am outraged. Yeah. That is so goes against the grain of every ounce of my humanity.
And that's the crazy thing about insanity, that it's so insane that we can't even believe it. We're sane people, right? We're like, well, maybe they don't see it. We try to find the good in it. But I love this country. It's a very sensitive time of the year, I think, in our country. So I'm seeing the insanity. I'm seeing the don't do. We will take care of you. We will give you everything. Just be happy with what you have. And I am very against that. I think we should all find our own voice. We should just strive for more. And that's what I did. And that's what this country gave me. So I went through so many lessons in the transition of being from a third world country, now coming here. And now it's the American dream. It
is. And I might have misread this, so I'm going to test it as a hypothesis.
Yeah.
But what I think I heard you say was America kind of gave you everything, and also that school counselor blocked a path for you because you felt as though they didn't see you, or if they didn't want you to succeed. That juxtaposition is so intricate. Because on one hand, you've got this experience of America gave me everything. And on the other hand, you've got that kind of microaggression of the blocking. How do you organize that? And how do you find wisdom in those difficult times where you butt up against
people that are actively blocking you in a culture that is also lifting you?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. Well, I think wisdom is applying what you learn, right? And at the age of 18, the way that I take responsibility for that blockage is that I wasn't applying the things because I didn't have the right knowledge. I didn't have the right information. So how if somebody's trying to stop me, I don't go into victim either. It's more like, okay, there's something that I didn't know that I don't know, and that's why that person could stop me. Now, today, it's going to be very hard to stop me because I can detect the person, but also if they're trying, and like, okay, what do I not know? So wisdom comes in. What do I not know about the situation that they think that they have the ability to stop me? It's just like, oh, like, what do I not know? So I seek for the right knowledge. I seek for people that have done it better than me, that are doing it, that have statistics, not just like, PR. PR right now is very easy to do. So I look for those people, and that's how I take responsibility. I can't let someone stop me.
So is it the data? You like the data?
I like the data.
And maybe we could say, because Australians say data, so I was just being
Okay.
very American
Yeah.
then. So we've got the data. And then also I feel like you've got a read, because a few sentences ago, I'm pretty sure you were able to say to me, I can see those people now and those people are not for me. And so I move towards the people that are for me. Tell me about the wisdom of being able to differentiate that.
Well, knowledge. I've taken courses on how to detect those people. I'm around people that are truly uplifting, not like, oh, I want to help you, and then bah, in the back, your environment matters a lot. So it's getting the right data, and apply it. And if it works, it works. True data should be simple to apply. Yeah.
Application?
Yeah.
Got it. The gathering, though, let's talk about brains, beautiful brains and bodies, because we store the data that we use to make decisions, consciously or unconsciously. We gather the data and we organize it.
Yeah.
I wonder whether your first 14 years of data has, where you were living in Peru, has shaped the way in which your next chapters of life have used the data, or if it was post-Peru in America that shaped it. Could you articulate that for us?
I mean, I don't want to get too like spiritual, but we have collected data for many, 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 many years.
I mean, let's get spiritual.
Okay.
If you want to.
Yeah. And so I think like whatever I did in Peru, I did here or wherever else, it's all data that I do collect to then try to make survival decisions, right? What's going to be best for me. And when I realized that it's just, there's so much data every single minute, every single second we're collecting. And what are we doing? We're trying to survive, right? We don't want to die. We don't want to succumb. When somebody tries to stop you, that's non-survival. It's like, oh, I can't drink water. That's dangerous,
Yeah.
So that was the thing. Like, I realized that it's just so much, and I don't care about the past. Of course, it has shaped me. Of course, my culture, my mom, how I was raised. Absolutely. It's going to be in me. I am who I am. But I'm really, really put a lot of my attention in the future. So when I am planning something, when I am thinking if I want to do something, like I'm not thinking with the failures or the successes sometimes. Because there's a different situation. There are different people that are going to come in my life. So that's one piece of advice that I always give, my team and people that I know. It's like, just try to live in the future. Yes, you have this data. Yes, you have this law. Somebody cheated on you. Somebody, in business or in relationships, it was horrible. But the chances of that exact same situation happening again in the future are very low if you could detect the person and you put in policies. You're like, okay, that happened. That's never going to happen to me again. That happened. Okay, that's not going to happen to me. And I believe in myself that I'm going to make those right choices, avoid the wrong people, and I live in the future. And this wasn't always, but now I do.
That's some of your wisdom.
Yes.
So what I think I would like to just clarify is the things that were hard or the things that didn't work, because failure is normal.
Yes.
Things fail and people hurt you. That is life. We're in a human suit doing human things, and humans do the best they can, and humans are often problematic, all of us. And so you've had human experiences, and then you've been all like, oh, not again. That from that moment over to having a different future, there is a pathway. And so it's not just deciding, you also have to grow.
Absolutely.
So let's unpack how you grow from something that doesn't work into something that is different and probably does work, but might not. And then you have to do it again.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
I mean, I look at the situation and where I went wrong, whether it was a mistake, whether it was something that I knew that I shouldn't have done, right? Most of the time it's stuff like that, or that I should have done and I didn't do. And that's when I put in like a policy. But it is that. And then, I mean, for me, it's quick now. Before it was like, oh my God, how am I going to do? But now I mean, honestly, it's just like failure. Okay, what happened? I can look at it, I can confront it, and I can just say, okay, well, first of all, it was all me. Let's start with me, because I'm the common denominator in all the failures. Yeah. Right? It's new people that come in, that I allow to come in, or it's people that I allow to, you know. So I look at it and then I just love the future.
You love the future. So we're going to go there now.
Yeah.
I want to go into the future. What are your dreams? Where are the things, where are you dreaming yourself into?
So much. I mean, I'm very big on women empowerment right now. There's a lot of attacks for women and children. So I want to do something about that. And with that, it comes a lot of responsibility. And then I also want to have a good marriage, happy marriage, kids. Like, I want to have it all, and I want women to know that it is possible. It's not this far thing, and whatever all means for each woman, you know. So I want to make sure that I make an impact in the world, in the country, in my city, wherever it is. And it's scary when I think about the things that I want, but today I'm working towards that. Next 5, 10, 20 years.
What's the scary thing?
The amount of people that I want to touch. I know not everyone's going to like me. Right?
Yeah, that can be scary.
And that is scary, because I'm like, I want to be friends with everybody.
Right. Well, actually, I think all the humans do.
We want to be liked.
It's a human condition, and it is also not possible. And that is a tricky thing to grow into a deep understanding of. And then to be able to tolerate someone not liking you and still like yourself.
Yeah. I think that's one of my biggest weaknesses. And I'm very open about that weakness, because I'm like, I know when someone doesn't like me, because I can assess quickly. And I'm like, why? What did I do? And then you think about it, and it's like, okay, no, so like, if you don't make that person happy, like, there's millions of people. So that, you know, there's evil on the planet. We all know that. So if I am fighting towards something that I believe in, there will be opposition, right? So those things are a little scary, but I see other people doing it. And that's inspiring. Whether I like the person or not, whether they're fighting for something that I believe in or not, I can't criticize you, because you are known by millions of people. There's something that you're doing right. So, and it's those things.
I am thinking about the evil and the good, that conversation, that juxtaposition. It is a sensitive time here in America right now.
So much.
And there are enough clips on the internet where you can see conversations in leadership where terribly misogynistic, slurs, those kinds of abhorrent rhetorics are in full force. What's that like for you?
It's the time in America where it's very divided. And it almost, like, I live in a safe environment. Like, I know nothing is going to happen to me as far as safety. But when I think of the whole country, like, I know there are people out there that don't feel safe. They don't feel safe to speak what they think, what they want, what they prefer. And also there's a lot of confusion. Like, you look at a clip and you're like, is this real? And so something that I do, and I recommend everyone to do, is fact check. Because confusion is the root of evil. You get people to be confused, they will be puppets. They're confused. They don't know what's true. They don't know what's a lie. They don't know what's false. But there's facts. So I do a lot of fact checking, and then that's when I find more peace and wisdom, is by doing a little bit of the research and like, okay, that's what they meant. That's what they were trying to do. I got it, but it's crazy.
Hey there, Meg Tuohey here with a quick and exciting announcement. As a psychologist, coach, and founder of the Wisdom Lab, I've had the privilege of helping thousands of individuals break free from the vicious cycles holding them back and tap into their infinite inner wisdom. If you're tired of feeling unheard, unseen, and stuck in the same old struggles, the Wisdom Lab is the breakthrough you've been yearning for. This on-demand program guides you through a powerful process to shatter emotional barriers, overcome deep-rooted blocks, and experience the profound transformation you deserve. In just 4 hours, you'll gain the tools and insights to revolutionize your life from the inside out. Want to learn more? Click or tap the link in the show notes for all the details. Okay, now back to the episode.
So I am a white person, and I have very little sense of not being the majority. I've only had a couple of times in my life where I've been the minority, and I've felt the experience of that. And it was jarring. I wonder what it's like for you to hear white leaders say really abhorrent things. I often try and put myself in the shock of that or the pain of that. But of course, I can't really understand. Could you help me understand what that's like for you?
Like when a leader speaks about like immigrants, minority.
Yep. When they say things that are just absolutely abhorrent. I do not want to speak them here.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give any airtime to that. Yeah.
Well, I have to tell you, whenever I've heard like people talk about minorities, I have not felt identified with that. Even though I know I am. I'm Hispanic in America. I'm an immigrant, right? And I think it has to do with my upbringings, and my parents put a lot of confidence in me where, I would tell you, I was maybe 9 years old, and I wanted to be Snow White for Halloween. And one of my friends said, "You're too dark to be Snow White." And it was the first time that I had ever heard anything like that about my skin tone. So I go home and I'm sad, and my parents notice, and I'm like, this is what happened. They sat me down for an entire hour, I think, telling me how beautiful my skin was, how beautiful I am, they go, who else has your skin color? Like your exact skin color. And I'm like, well, nobody. Oh, that's special. You're unique. You have a caramel skin. And they did such a great job. And I love my skin color from that moment on. And from 9 or 10 years old that happened, I have never, ever felt like someone has treated me differently because of my skin color. You see what I mean? It's like this is what we allow others to put on on who you are.
Oh.
And so when I hear like immigrants this and criminals and blah, and all this horrible things, I'm like, things. I'm not a part of that. Like, yes, it's like the Hispanics this, the Hispanics that. I'm like, yeah, that sucks. That's what's happening, because it is happening. In some parts it's happening, but I don't feel like I'm a part of that when they're describing those things. So I give credit a lot to that moment in my life where my parents had the time, made the time. And again, it was because they were entrepreneurs and they were home when I got home from school. You know, so I'm passionate about my line of work because my parents were present parents. I didn't come home to an empty home to introvert more on my skin color. Because if that would have happened, my future would have been very different. I would have pulled in a lot of racist people to make highlights or comments about my skin color. You know, actually what happens is people tell me, you have beautiful skin color. Thank you. And that's what I pull in because that's what I believe that I am. And it's really interesting how the mind works, the human mind works, right? It's what you believe you attract. If you believe that you are a minority, if you believe that you don't have a chance, if you believe that all the stacks are against you, and if you believe that you just cannot make it big because X, Y, and Z, or because this leader or that leader, that's what you're going to get. So I that's my answer to your question. I don't feel much pain or anger because I know that I can make my life better, not because of that person or that person.
So the weight that you have on your shoulders for the work you want to do, tell me about how that fits in.
The weight that I have on my shoulders, I think it's just like the scary part is like, you know, being out there known in the world and like having so many people have an opinion on me when they don't know me. Because if they don't know me, then they're going to say some crazy things. You know, maybe I have people who are like, oh, she's so insensitive. She's Latin. Why is she saying that? But it's the truth to me. It's true to me. It doesn't have to be true to you. And it's just that part, like just being known and having people assume things about me. That's the only part that scares me. But I know that it's necessary in order to do and reach for people that are ready to receive my message. A lot of people that are not ready to receive your message, you know, they're like, no, it just doesn't work. My relationship, all men suck and it's never going to happen. And I'm just never going to have a relationship. And I love what you're doing because you're contributing to the family unit.
Oh, yes.
You are contributing to sanity on planet Earth.
Yes. That's exactly
it. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Because most women, they're going the other route.
Our women are the change makers. Women are the tone setters. Women are the leaders of their families, of their systems, of their communities, of their work.
I agree.
Women are the leaders.
I agree 100%.
So we both have a heart for leadership in women.
Yeah, I love that. And I love what you do. And that's why I'm here, because it aligns so much with what I'm doing and in a bigger scale in the future. You know, protect a family unit, make marriages look cool again, and something that women want to do, and something that men want to do if we have any men left. But that's also our responsibility.
Yeah, men are so important.
They are.
We cannot be without each other.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do. Yeah. I love men and I love women and I love the humans.
Yeah.
And we do get ourselves in tricky situations and we hurt each other and we are relentlessly always growing, and that is okay. It's okay. We must make repairs and reparations though for the pain we cause, regardless of how we identify in terms of our humanness. So you have a great love. A great love of your life, and moved you all the way down to Miami, which is where we are right now. Yes. Do you want to tell me some wisdom about your great love? What have
Funny
you learned?
that you say that, because we talked about me moving from a country to another country, and the lesson there was change of environment. So with him, it was also change of environment. I moved from California to Florida when he was like, we were dating long distance for like 9 months. And he's like, well, things are going really well. I think you should move in. And I'm like, leaving California, I was this strong, independent woman living in LA, working. I didn't have roommates for the first time. I was like, I made it, right? And later he told me, that's what I liked about you, that you could take care of yourself. So I didn't feel weird coming in and like helping you and saying, yeah, come in, and here's the house and here's this. My husband is very successful. When I met him, he was already very successful. So it was a little bit of what I wanted. I'm not going to lie. I did want a successful man that could provide and take care of me, but I didn't want to be a stay-at-home girlfriend or a stay-at-home wife. I've always loved business, entrepreneurship, and all of that. And we were on the same page with that. So change of environment was another big, I think it's the best thing that you can do.
You learn so much.
Yes.
One of my wisdoms, just to juxtapose alongside yours, is I think every place you go offers you insight and understanding into another facet of a mirror ball, the mirror ball of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really good because it comes with so many new things, so many new lessons, new culture, new people. And that's what it was. At the first year, I hated it. I did not like Miami. It was very different than Los Angeles. Yeah. This was 7 years ago. And then, there comes wisdom and understanding for others. And I figured it out, started working with the company that I work with now. And that was very important for my relationship, finding something professionally that I feel happy and fulfilled. And when I am home, I'm happy and I'm not stressed or I'm not,
We need a contribution. I think humans need to be able to contribute in order to experience those peaceful, contented, and then other more positive emotions like excitement and joy, those sorts of things. We have to, that
work.
Work is great.
Work is good.
Like, that figure 8 idea, we need to be able to give and receive.
Yes.
Yes.
The exchange.
We have to exchange, and it needs to be in harmony, even when it might not be in a day or a week or a month, kind of over our life. We need to harmonize that figure 8.
Yes, I love that. I love this concept. I love it, and I agree with you so much. And that's where, in the family unit, sometimes women feel like they're not doing the 8.
No.
Because they're not bringing money in. But we are very valuable to society and our home. If you're a stay-at-home wife, that's a full-time job. You're running a corporation.
You are. And when I say work, I don't mean like work.
Right.
I mean your contribution to your life, to your loved ones, to your communities, whatever that looks like. It's a contribution that we can call work, and that's okay.
And you feel good about it.
Right. And then sometimes you get an exchange for that, which is financial, and other times you get even better exchanges like contribution, making a difference, fulfillment. Yeah.
You're fulfilling your purpose.
Correct.
Yeah. I think work is good. I promote a lot of work. I'm like, when you work, you're happy. I've never worked like on something that I wanted to do and I'm not happy. It's like, okay, I have a product now and now I can do something with it. So now I've been with my now husband for 8 years, and it's the healthiest, most sane relationship that I've had, and it's something that I am very, very proud of. Like, you ask him about my work, my all areas of my life, I'm like, they're good, working on it, right? But as a woman, I feel very proud of having that statistic of finding someone that we work as a team, and it's very sane, very sane. It's a win for a woman, I think.
I would love to know more about your pride in your relationship, because you lit up with the word proud.
Yeah.
Could you tell us more about that?
Because before, I wasn't proud of my relationships, and I also didn't think that they were important in my life. Men, that was my attitude. I was very, you can be a strong, independent woman with a strong man by your side. I think it has to be stronger because when my past relationships, I was a strong, independent woman and they were a little weak. So I would step all over them. I had no respect for men, but that's also what I was projecting. And I wasn't happy. And I knew that something was off in those relationships. I just, in the back of my head, I was like, something is off. Like, I don't feel fully safe. If financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, I just don't feel fully safe. Can they be like, oh my God, you want to eat something? And like, you know, those cute things, which is nice for men to have those moments. There was a lot of that, but then I didn't feel like there was a future. So I think now I take a lot of pride on my relationship because I'm in a place as an individual where I can see the value on having a man by my side. I really truly see it because he adds on to my life. Like, I feel like I'm surviving better because I have the right partner. When you have the wrong partner, from my experience, there's always problems, not just in my relationship, but work environment, with my family, with my friends. There was always drama. There was always problems. There was always arguments. And my life was chaos because I was not with the right partner. It's really interesting.
It ripples.
It ripples.
It ripples. So it's something about the solidarity that comes from meeting someone with the same cadence or a similar tone or frequency that you can create from that one steady place, whatever that match is. There's no right match. There's no wrong, like, cadence.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
there is a wrong cadence. Let's unpack that on a different episode. But what I think I'm trying to say is when you find the cadence that works for you, the ripples are different.
They're harmonious.
They're like those ones at a beach. Let's go
Yeah.
to Hawaii for a second.
Yeah.
Right on those soft sandy shores.
Yes.
And the water's like the perfect temperature. It's just rolling in gently, sort of gently soothing you.
It's not like choppy and like
Yeah,
crazy.
not like falling over into the water.
And you know, I think when people hear this concept, because it's not something that a lot of people talk about, and I think it's because I don't want to sound like I have a perfect relationship, which that's where I'm going with this. Just because you have a harmonious relationship and you do have a good partner does not mean that there's not work behind it. There's actually a lot more communication, a lot more work, a lot more responsibility that you have to take as an individual to make sure that that relationship works. And that's something that my husband and I do very well, is that even if it's uncomfortable, we're going to talk about it. And mostly with women, I think we have to be like, sit down, let's talk about it. And it's not like it's not a make wrong. So we have this rule where like, it's not,
No
you
make
did
wrongs.
this. Yeah, no make wrongs. It's actually, what did I do to cause this situation, this upset? Okay, this is what I think I did.
Right? How did we get here?
It's a we thing.
It's a we thing.
I'm going to say the same thing.
Right? It's not a you did this.
No.
How did we find ourselves here?
Yeah.
You're a good person.
Right.
I'm a good person. How might we walk out of this together?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There's a cadence. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be 100% of the time, because that is perfectionism and that doesn't exist. Let's go for 80-20.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And he has his universe, I have my universe, he's working, I'm working, so.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my friend, I feel like we're nearly at the end. I can kind of feel the vibes. So my question to you is there anything... Oh, no, I've got a better question.
Yeah.
Got a better one.
Yeah.
Okay. We're on a porch and we're very relaxed. No more silver, no more beautiful golds. We're in our cozies. We're going to make the temperature fall, but not cold.
Okay.
And we're just able to like layer with the nice soft things.
Yeah.
You've got a hot cup of something that you love.
Love it.
And so have I. And we've got 2 chairs. We've got enough chairs for all of you. There's chairs everywhere. And we're coming in and we're all friends.
Yeah.
And and we can feel that we're going to share something wise. What's the thing that you want our people that are listening right now to know from you, the most important thing, so that when they join that circle with their cozies on and their throw blanket, the exact right color and shade, texture, and their perfect drink or 3 drinks or 5 drinks, they can bring as many drinks and snacks as you want. What's the thing you want them to know?
I'm going to circle it back to the beginning, that they can change or better their condition. As humans, we're not stagnant. We are not doing the same thing. And if we are doing the same thing, it eventually dies. That's with work, relationships, anything. So you have the ability to truly change the condition that you're in. Even if you like the condition that you're in, look to better it. Because if you just like it and leave it there, it's not going to stay the same forever. So I just want people to know that they have the power to do that, to dream big, to strive for more, for better. And I know it sounds cliche and people are like, oh, I'm going to get stressed, or I don't know, is too big goals. I'm happy here where I'm at. That's great, but I am telling you, where you're at won't stay the same forever. It would either go down or it would go up. And it can be small little changes. Like, I'm not saying go and do something crazy. It's just you have the ability to change the condition that you're in. Yeah.
So we have a thing in my company when
Yeah.
I'm working with my women that I coach.
Uh-huh.
We have a thing called a yeah but. So I'm going to yeah but you. And so the women at home that are listening, and men, or anybody, whoever's listening, yeah, but you don't understand. My life can't change. I'm in a really hard place. And mine is really hard. And my husband or loved one or person, they're not helping. And my condition, my job, my family, my experience, it's really hard. How can I better that?
Well, what I would say is, who is in that condition?
Tell us more.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Right. It's like you have to, I would ask that person, who is in that condition, in that horrible place that you feel you can't do something about it? Is it your husband? Is it your work? Is it your mom? Is it your kids? It's none of the people that they mentioned. It's you. And you are the common denominator on all these horrible things that are happening.
Well, aren't we on my favorite topic? So then what? All right, I'm listening. I've been butting you, but you've got my attention.
Okay.
What do I do now?
Okay, let's say one thing. What is the thing that's bothering you the most? And most of the time, it's not going to be the things that the person told you. It's going to be a very I don't know, my weight. I cannot lose weight. I don't feel happy with the way I look. Or it could be my hair, something. It's honestly something. So let's start with what's the thing that's bothering you the most? So it could be anything. So let's tackle that. Forget about all the other problems. Let's just go to that one thing. My husband's not paying attention to me. Okay, let's tackle that. Is it just a husband problem that he's not paying attention to you? Or are you trying to get his attention? When was the last time you got his attention and you were happy? Let's try to recreate that again and better, right? Better that condition. So I just take one, and this is what I do in myself too. If I feel like I'm like, oh, things are not working, and I have those moments too, absolutely.
Because you are a human.
Yes. So I'm like, everything is coming against me. And then I go, okay, I'm the common denominator. What's the first thing because you can't, this is what I say to women, you can do it all, just not all at the same time and not all by yourself. And I remind this to my girls, my team, all the time. You can do it all. Trust me. We're women. We can have tons of things. It's like screens everywhere, and we can have them, and we can confront them, and we can look at them and be like, yeah, there's a lot to do. The house, the husband, the kids, the laundry, the this, the that, the work. But can you do it all at the same time? Not on planet Earth. Maybe on another planet. Not here. Take one, handle that, tackle that, take the next one. And that's what I do. And that's how I better my condition. One at a time.
And that feels full circle.
Yeah.
Now I feel like we really got it. That was really fun. I'd like to thank you so sincerely for being here with us today, Lucia. It has been such a joy and an honor to get to know you. Now, I have something which I've never been able to do in real life because I've always done these virtually. Okay. Except for that one time, and then I hadn't got this idea. But I have this new idea.
Okay.
So I've just come straight from a live event with my women. We had it in Kansas City, and it was magic. Anyway.
Isn't it the best to go to events and see the people?
Yeah.
It's different.
We did an activity. And we let go of something that had really hurt us, and we had wrapped it in compassion. And as a way to not lose the memory, which has the wisdom in it, everybody took a piece of stone, a tumble stone. And the event was called Regenerate. So we had a lot of themes around trees. And so we gave a piece of tree jasper, tumble stone, as an exchange for the pain and the hardship. And so what I have for your wisdom in person is a piece of tree jasper tumblestone for you to take with you as a memento of your life and all that you have overcome and all that you have turned into wisdom. On behalf of my community of women who would love to know that you also had one of these,
Yes.
this is for you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Can we reach?
Yeah.
We did it.
This is great. Thank you. This means a lot. Feel the energy here.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me and allowing me to share my wisdom and my story. It was great to know you, and anything that you need to continue what you're doing, you know, you have a friend here to support you. I really want to thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Marriages are important. The family unit is very important. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. And likewise.
Thank you.
What a joy to have met you.
Thank you.
All right. I feel like we can now hug. Can we do
Yes.
that? Yeah. Get down slow.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Wisdom Stripes. Follow me on @Meg Tuohey Official and leave a comment and review. I'm looking forward to meeting you here next time on Wisdom Stripes.